Hi, my name is Haley and I'm the Director of Clarinet for the Treble Clef Project. Today we're going to be talking about the circle of fifths, which is an important concept for every musician, but if you've been keeping updated with the clarinet videos on the Treble Clef Project, you'll see that we're going to use the circle of fifths in a future video. So to start us off, here's a picture of what the circle of fifths might look like. There's a lot of variations to it, but this is a simple version to get us started. On the inside of the circle, there are these letters that I'm going to call our tones. And if we look at the relationship between these tones, we'll see why this is called the circle of fifths. For example, if you start at the C and go clockwise one step, you'll get to G, which is the fifth note of the C major or minor scale. Or if you start at A and go clockwise one step, you'll get to E, which is the fifth note of the A major or minor scale. So basically, going clockwise one step around the circle of fifths means that you're going up a fifth every time. So now that you have kind of an idea of what the circle of fifths is, let's talk about some important ways that you can use it. There's a lot more ways to use the circle of fifths than what I'm mentioning in this video, but these are some good ones to get you started. The first way to use the circle of fifths is to help you remember key signatures, like if you have to play a certain scale or you're playing a song with a certain key signature. On most versions of the circle of fifths, there are key signatures included that match the major scale of any of the tones. For example, if you want to know the key signature of E major, you just find the E and look at the matching key signature, which says that E major has 4 sharps. You might also notice that if you start at C and go clockwise, the number of sharps increases by 1 for every tone. And if you start at C and go counterclockwise, the number of flats increases by 1 for every tone. So the circle of fifths might be helpful in memorizing the order of major scales. The second way to use the circle of fifths is to help you remember the order of sharps and flats, which can be hard to remember when you're first starting out. For example, if you want to know what flat comes after E flat or what sharp comes after F sharp, then you can use the circle of fifths for that. The way you do that is if you want to know the order of the sharps, you start at F, because F is always the first sharp, and you follow the tones clockwise. You'll notice that it says F, C, G, D, A, E, B, which is the order of sharps. And if you want to know the order of flats, you'll start at B flat because B is always the first flat and follow the tones counterclockwise. You'll notice that it says B, E, A, D, G, C, F, which is the order of flats. The third way to use the circle of fifths is to help you find the relative minors of scales. If you don't know what a relative minor is, you can look it up if you need to. If you do know what relative minors are, but you find yourself forgetting which major goes with which minor, then this strategy is for you. To find the relative minor of any major scale, just check which tone is 3 steps clockwise from the major scale. For example, say I wanted to find the relative minor of G major. I would go 3 steps clockwise, which goes D, A, E, and so I land on E. E minor is the relative minor to G major. Fourth and final way to use the circle of fifths that we will be talking about today is to transpose keys. This is especially useful if you play in a band with other instruments. If you're playing scales in a school band, your teacher might call out the concert name of the scale, but the clarinet you play probably isn't in the concert key. It's what we call a B flat instrument. So if your teacher calls out that you should play concert E flat, then you can't actually play your E flat scale or you'll clash with the rest of the band. Instead, you have to transpose from the concert key to the key of your instrument. This is where the circle of fifths comes in. We're transposing a concert key to the key of a B flat instrument, which includes B flat clarinet, trumpet, trombone, and tenor saxophone. All you have to do is move 2 steps clockwise from the concert key. For example, if your teacher says concert B flat and then you move 2 steps, so you would go F and then C, and now you've landed on C. That means that you should play your C major scale. If your teacher says concert F, then you count C and G and land on G, so you should play your G major scale. So this was 4 ways that you can use the circle of fifths as a musician. Like I mentioned before, the circle of fifths has a lot of different uses to it, and I definitely didn't cover all of them in this video, but if you're just a beginner musician, then this is a good place to start. So I hope you learned something in this video and that it was helpful for you. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to practice.